What's going on, YouTubers? Just give me one moment. It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to WWE RAW Review, the show from April 29th, 2019. This will be another build-up for what pertains to Money in the Bank, which is going to be on May. You know, I can't remember the date again, but it's going to be on around May. So you have your commentators Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Renee Young. They were at Lexington, Kentucky. So let's get back to the show. So we get a moment of bliss by Alexa Bliss that happened in the middle of the ring, where it pertains to who's going to be in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, where it pertains to the Raw portion of it. And then we'll find out. For SmackDown who's going to be part of that one once we get to SmackDown. So Alexa Bliss first announced Braun Strowman. And by the way, folks, these four guys from Raw, they didn't even wrestle a match, but they're just going to be in the match, while qualifying. I'm pretty sure the same thing's going to happen with SmackDown too, but we'll see. Haven't got to that yet, but Alexa Bliss announces Braun Strowman, and then we get Ricochet, then we get Drew McIntyre, and then we get Boring Corbin. Are you fucking kidding me? So we couldn't get Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn, the same Sami Zayn who's talking about fans or critics and everything. I would have taken that Sami Zayn to be in the match. You could give us a Rey Mysterio Jr., Samoa Joe, or even a Cesaro. Hell, I wouldn't even take him Robert Roode, which by the way he wasn't even on the show on this show this week. I don't get that. Of all people you put in this match, in the Money in the Bank of 2019, you picked a guy that people don't want to see in this match in the first place, and Boring Baron Corbin. What the motherfucking bullshit? So they were going on at each other on the mic and everything, and then this led to a match. Well, let me just say this: it didn't last about 22 minutes, like last time. Last week basically with that opening segment. This one only lasted 12 minutes. So we get a match between Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin. And Baron Corbin, once again, boring ass motherfucking Corbin in the match. Didn't care for him in this match. And he made me not care about Ricochet. Basically a Ricochet match. I always care about a Ricochet match. I even care about a Ricochet when he was Prince Puma in Lucha Underground match. How is it that boring ass Corbin makes me not care about Ricochet what pertains to Ricochet's matches? I'll tell you why. Because boring Corbin is boring ass motherfucking piece of trash wrestler. So in the match, Braun Strowman got a big pop, when he got the hot tag, and Ricochet was always over too, by the way, with these crowds. So Drew McIntyre's going to take the finish or something. I think he's going to try to go for the finish here, right? Yeah, the Claymore to Ricochet, right? And then Boring Corbin attacks himself in the match. Drew McIntyre wasn't happy about that, like what happened about last week and all that. So Strowman gets in the match, and Drew decides to slap Corbin in the face because Corbin was trying to get out of it. And McIntyre just walks away from Corbin. And like, good. And then Ricochet goes for the Shooting Star Press onto Corbin for the win. So yeah, Ricochet and Braun Strowman wins. And by the way, I think WWE decided to have Ricochet just do Shooting Star Press instead of the 630 senton instead, which I think is stupid. If they took that away from him, I don't think it. Here's the thing. All they took it away from him. I just think they'll put out for special occasions. I guess Raw wasn't that special occasion part. Maybe Money in the Bank it will be a special occasion part of it, but we'll see. But yeah, but for now he's gonna do the shooting star press as his finishing move. But only time will tell though. We get the Usos. They coming out, and they start rapping their theme song. So they're basically like R-Truth now. Now on SmackDown Live, they never did that, but on Raw, of course, they got to do that, right? You know, we had to change something different about the Usos. You know, for being down since day one-ish. You know, line them up, knock them all down. You know, welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. You know that, right? I get what the Usos trying to do too. No, they're trying to help the crowds and everything, but it wasn't working. It wasn't working. But the Usos went up against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers. And I was like, wait a minute. They were on SmackDown, and WWE decided to move them to Raw. Fuck you, WWE. And I thought they didn't want to be on TV anymore because they refused to resign. But they had a match. It went long. It was decent. The Usos wins. Nothing to say about that. And yeah, even though Gallows and Anderson moved to Raw and they had a long match with the Usos, they still lost. So that once again it goes to show how WWE thinks highly of the Good Brothers. Machine Gun Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows. So then after the match, the Usos start celebrating. And then they talk about the revival, and then they show something happened earlier on that night. They show up at the locker room, and we see the revival. Wearing towels around their waist, and they show Dash Wilder. Can't believe I'm saying this. They show Dash Wilder shaving the back of Scott Dawson. Basically, Dash Wilder manscaping Scott Dawson's back. This was a Vince McMahon. I am 100% sure that was a Vince McMahon booking. He thinks that's funny. He enjoyed this type of segments. This was on the same level that of Dolph Ziggler revealing the Miz, his personal stuff with Damien Mizdow back in 2015. No, actually 2014. Excuse me. That's what it reminded me of. And I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now. And I didn't find it entertaining then. I don't find it entertaining now. It's not entertaining. If I was the revival, I would refuse not to do that, because they want to leave. They want to leave anyways, right? So why couldn't they just refuse to not do it? They could just just been sent home, and and wait till the contract runs out. Yeah, they gotta wait for a year to do it, but hell, anything better than shaving some other grown man's back. And why do you have the Usos of all people to do that? I was excited for the Usos to come to Raw with their new gimmicks, because they reinvented themselves on SmackDown Live, and now in 1 week's time, or 2 weeks time, whatever, WWE's already fucked them up. They're already screwing them up with the Usos. And for what? To lead to a feud between the Usos and the Revival. And then the Revival came out there. And basically, they're upset about that, everything, all that, and they're talk about how they're best friends, and they watch each other's back and everything. Also trying to make fun of them by saying, "Oh, you shave each other's back," and like, this was trash. Fucking hated it. Fucking hated it. We get to the Miz doing the Miz TV. And his special guest is Bobby Lashley. No Leo Rush, folks. Leo Rush got some backstage heat because he let everyone know that he's better than this and everything. He's very good and all that. and this apparently led to some heat for Leo Rush, basically. Whatever. WWE always treats these wrestlers anyways, like that anyways. And Leo Rush does deserve better too, by the way. So, in a way, I'm on Leo Rush's side on this one. But Miz was hyping the fans by saying "Welcome to MITB" and and everything. And I thought it was good. Bobby Lashley again is the special guest, and to be honest with you folks, I didn't really care about this. Lashley said something about the Miz, what have you done lately, and all that, and again I didn't care. And then Lashley talks about how Shane McMahon made fun of the Miz's dad, and then Miz had enough of it and he attacks Bobby Lashley, and this led to a match. So Miz and Lashley had a match. Shane McMahon comes out of nowhere, distracts the Miz. Lashley gets the win, and then after the match, Shane McMahon continues to beat down on the Miz, and we get CM Punk chants. That's how fans were invested on this feud between Shane McMahon and the Miz. We got CM Punk chants going on. The Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar, versus the Lucha Trash Party, which is Lindsay Dorado. I mean, not Lindsay Dorado. He's at ringside. It was Grand Metalik and Kalisto. Match happens. It was solid, but the Viking Raiders ends up winning. And then after the match, they attack Lindsay Dorado. And there you go. So the Viking Raiders are undefeated on Raw as tag teams, and they're dominant. And yeah, there you go. Nothing else to say about that. Alexa Bliss does a moment of bliss, this time on the stage. She introduced Natalya, who's going to be part of the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match for the Raw side, the Raw portion. And then she introduced Dana Brooke. Oh my god. And then she introduced Naomi. And I was thinking, even oh my god. So I'm assuming she's going to be the next Raw Women's Champion in the future, I guess. I don't know. And then Alexa Bliss announces the final participant from Raw for the women's, and it is Alexa Bliss. So no Ruby Riott. Thank God it's not Alicia Fox, by the way, because she probably would have been drunk anyways. NWE will allow it anyways. Yes, no Ruby Riott. But Dana Brooke is in it, yeah. Dana Brooke, oh yeah, Dana Brooke's getting the opportunity, but Ruby Riott doesn't. And by the way, this moment of bliss was complete total shit. Natalya on the mic was shit. Dana Brooke on the mic was shit. Naomi on the mic was shit. Alexa Bliss, I'll give her credit. She did the good until she announced herself being in the match. And oh god. So this led to Naomi challenging her to a match, and Alexa Bliss is like, "Well, I'm not even dressed to compete. She's not wearing her own. She's not wearing shoes that are not even hers and everything." And then Naomi said, "Well, even with or without my shoes, I can still beat you and everything." And Alexa Bliss decides to accept it. And yeah. So before we get to that match, also we get to the segment, the second episode of Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse. Bray Wyatt is painting a picture, whatever. We can't see it yet. And then we see Rambling the Rabbit. Basically Rambling Rabbit. I also need to mention this too, Bobby, folks. When I first saw the opening of the Bray Wyatt segment from last week, when he's been repackaged and everything, I noticed there was again the buzzer, the puppet, and the rabbit. But I thought it was a bunny at the time, but apparently it's now it's a rabbit. So I was saying to myself, at the time, and I should have said this from my last Raw review. I said I wouldn't be surprised if they introduced the rabbit or the bunny. You know that, right? So and obviously it was a rabbit. So we get to the part where the rabbit shows up, and he's called Rambling Rabbit, and he's a new character, which I predicted, but it didn't look like a rabbit. It looked like a crackhead rodent. I'm like, that's supposed to be a rabbit? So Rambling Rabbit, one Ray Wyatt just showed a picture of a burning house, basically the Wyatt family compound that happened a few years ago, during when Randy Orton was part of it. you know. So yeah, I'll give him this. It was a continuity of that one, um, but whatever. And then Abby the Witch shows up, and she's basically talking down on Bray Wyatt being bad again. And then Remy Rabbit goes away. He said I'm out of here. And then Bray Wyatt was like to Abby the Witch, saying that she's a bit of a psychopath. And he said that's today's word, by the way. Oh no, I'm sorry. Rambling Rabbit said, is that today's word? Yeah, it is. And then Bray was like, oh yeah, it is. Today's word is psychopath. Now I thought they was going to do some screaming or whatever, but no, that was not it at all. And then that was it. He says goodbye to the Fireflies, and there you go. Yeah, Stu hated it. Stu not getting a chance. Stu think it's trash. Stu think it's garbage. Stu think it's a waste of fucking time. Stu think it's devaluing the character of Bray Wyatt. It's fucking trash. And if you like it, more power to you. Sorry, folks, had to calm down. So then we get to Alexa Bliss versus Naomi. Match itself, I thought was solid. Wasn't that bad. Alexa Bliss kept trying to tie her shoes and everything. Making some excuses of, I'm not ready and everything, whatever. And the match, Naomi wins. So Naomi is 3-0 against Alexa, on Raw so far. Since coming back to Raw. And yeah, Alexa Bliss, obviously it's going to be an excuse of Alexa Bliss why she lost. Hold on a second, folks. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. It was not responding. But Alexa Bliss, I'm pretty sure it's going to come up with an excuse of why she lost and everything. Which, at least she did play it off a very good excuse of why she wasn't ready and everything that was I like how it was booked, but though. I mean, what was it the best? Nah, but Alexa Bliss was doing her best to work with shit. And with WWE they always gotta make you work with shit and everything to make it work and everything. And I think she made it work. I think it's gonna be a rematch between Naomi and Alexa Bliss somewhere down the line. And yeah, we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, so Naomi did win. So there you go. One moment, folks. Alright, sorry about that, folks. So then we get to Rey Mysterio Jr. being was basically backstage with his son Dominic, and Charlie Caruso walks up. Rey Mysterio Jr. talks about basically reflecting about what happened at WrestleMania 35. It was embarrassing that he lost in the minute against Samoa Joe, and then Dominic basically was encouraging his dad, and there you go. No say about that. Then we get to Becky Lynch, Becky Two Belts, who is Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion, and she got popped. And basically, this segment was about double trouble for the man, because she's going to be facing Lacey Evans for the Raw Women's Championship at Money in the Bank, and against Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Money in the Bank. So that's why it's double trouble for the man. Whatever. And I can see it now. The advertising for Money in the Bank. Double trouble for the man, where it pertains to the lady versus the man for the Raw Women's Championship, and the Queen versus the man for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Double trouble for the man. Yeah, I know it's corny, but that won't surprise me if that's going to be the tagline. The way they're going to promote it. So anyway, so Charlie Caruso interviews Becky Lynch in the ring about facing Lacey Evans for the Raw Women's Championship and facing Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and saying that if she's worried about losing those belts because the odds are against her at Money in the Bank. And then the crowd was trying for Becky Lynch by saying 2 belts. Becky 2 belts, not to say. Becky was saying her whole entire career has been a long shot, but nothing she's done has been by accident. And basically says that she didn't make history by dodging anybody. She made it by beating everyone. And Becky gives some props to Charlotte Flair and said that she still has her Charlotte Flair's number, and then it talks about Lacey Evans has a great right, a great right hand basically, the woman's right, you know, and she says she's making a mistake by hitting someone like that, and she promised to give Lacey Evans the beating at Money in the Bank, and then Troy Caruso brings up Lacey Evans about dropping her down twice last week and everything over over Becky Lynch's match against Alicia Fox, and then Becky was like, let me get this microphone for you, Charles. I mean Chuck. Basically, she called Charlie Chuck. Let me get this microphone for you, Chuck. And basically, she calls out Lacey Evans. So Lacey Evans comes out. She talks about basically, Lacey Evans cuts a promo on Becky Lynch by saying she's trying hard to not lose her manners. Basically, Lacey Evans is trying so hard not to lose her manners. And she says, but she warned Becky last week about her emotions, and now she's done talking. And she takes off her skirt and her hat. And don't worry, she's wearing her ring attire, by the way, folks. Lacey Evans. She always does, by the way. But also we get a brawl going out between Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans, and they're going to add it and get a referee pulling them apart, and then we get agents pulling them apart. You couldn't pull these two apart, because they were having an intergender brawl. You have the lady and the man going at each other. The lady and the man, they're having an intergender brawl. Just kidding. Just saying. But yeah, there you go. That was basically it for that. So yeah, and that was that. Alright, so next we get to Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, the Raw Tag Team Champions, going up against Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, the Revival. And I'm asking myself, why? So we get the match. It was solid. I didn't care for that much. And then, so here's what happened. The finish was Dawson was tagged in, and he dropped Hawkins off the apron. Dawson then collided with Ryder. As Dawson falls down, Ryder lands on top of him accidentally. And I'm sorry, Ryder falls down. And then Dawson falls on top of Ryder accidentally. And then Ryder basically we get a 2 count, and then Ryder goes for a roll up on Dawson and gets the 3 count in the win. So we're building up Revival versus Usos feud, but they lose. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. So the Raw Tag Team Champions, they couldn't lose, but someone else who's the champion ends up losing. I'll get to that later, but so stupid. Yeah, at this point, the Revival, why is the Revival even there? Why can't it just go home like Sasha Banks is home right now? But you know what? I guess they want to get paid. Then the Miz shows up. I mean, the Miz backstage, meant to say. He issues a match against Shane McMahon. I don't remember who confronted him. I think it was Troy Caruso or Sarah, one of those two. I don't remember, but who cares? But Miz issues a challenge to Shane McMahon in a steel cage match at Money in the Bank. And obviously, that's good. He's going to accept it anyway, so. But, yeah. We get Sami Zayn coming out there. He talks about how fans are psychological entitlement. That's the word of it, by the way. For years, they've been fed, lied, that the customer is always right. Sammy gets more heat for knocking people from Lexington because of that. He talks about a 5-year-old kid that wanted something from Sami Zayn at the airport. A kid starts crying and ran back to his dad because Sami Zayn told him no, whatever. Sami Zayn said then that didn't make him feel good. It made him sick because he did it. He didn't owe a kid anything. He didn't owe any these fans anything. And he says the injuries he has for years of the 5-star matches that he has. He said it's not enough. And it talks about how, you know, the fans will sit and take what he is kind of enough to give, whatever. He mocks the fans, telling them, by saying, the fans are saying, well, if you don't like WWE, then leave, quit, whatever, and all that, right? And he starts laughing and says, if the fans want to see him quit, and he says, trust him, believe him, quitting WWE will be amazing. I know, right? What are the odds? It will be amazing because you'll be booked and better elsewhere. And then he says that, for those fans, they'll be the critic of critics. Sammy goes on ranting about how no one has had the nerve to stand up to the fans for far too long, and now now he's talking to the power back. And now he's taking the power back. Excuse me. He's taking the power back and everything, and then that was it. I don't care anymore about Sami Zayn's promos anymore because it's the same thing I'm hearing every time. Fans are critics. WWE is a toxic environment because of the fans and everything. I don't care anymore. And I see what WWE is doing here too. WWE is having Sami Zayn taking all the bullet here, and WWE is not taking responsibility of their own actions. Fucking ridiculous. At this point, and another thing it bothers me too is that Sami Zayn is not even wrestling. He's just out there just talking. How's that entertaining? That's not entertaining. It's fucking disappointing. It's fucking. At this point, I want to stop watching Raw after that. There was many reasons why I want to stop watching Raw because of that. Because of the manscaping, of the revival. Yeah, somebody should call the police after this one because so many crimes on Raw was committed. Because Raw was not entertaining at all. But I'll let you all know about my overall story of it as well when I get to it. Because there was more pile of trash on Raw that I fucking hated. It's not me being a critic. It's me giving my fucking opinion about it. So let's get to Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio Jr. Non-title match. So Samoa Joe cuts a promo about Rey Mysterio Jr. being a bad father and letting his son down because he lost at WrestleMania in a minute, and says that AJ Styles used Rey Mysterio Jr. as a weapon on Samoa Joe, for AJ Styles to win the match, to get a shot, of the Universal title, and basically saying that how bad he's going to make Mysterio pay for that too, no. And Samoa Joe, it was kind of an intense promo as usual. So we get Rey Mysterio Jr. coming out, and Samoa Joe wrestling, and they wrestle over a minute. Good. So the match itself was pretty decent. And then also Mysterio ends up rolling up Samoa Joe out of nowhere for the 3 count and the fucking win. So because he beat Samoa Joe, that means he's in line to go out to the United States Championship against Samoa Joe. I see myself, why couldn't you just have a normal contention match between Mysterio or someone else on Raw to get that title against Samoa Joe? Why it has to be Samoa Joe losing again? And Dominic come out there celebrating with Mysterio. You know what? WWE, do what the fuck you want with Samoa Joe now. Have him lose, so many times on Raw as United States Champion, even whenever he becomes Universal Champion. At this point, fuck it. Do it. Do what you want to with Samoa Joe now. Have him be a loser every fucking time. By doing the same move every time with Samoa Joe always losing. A roll up. Main event segment. Michael Cole is in the ring doing the WWE Money in the Bank contract sign between AJ Styles and Seth freaking Rollins for the what pertains to the Universal Championship. So AJ Styles talks about what he did on SmackDown, and now he's here on Raw to make a name for himself, and he wants to go after Seth Rollins because he's the guy now, and Seth Rollins has something that he wants, and that's the Universal Championship. And basically Styles saying Rollins that he's trying to be the next AJ Styles and everything. Well, it was proven back in WETLC when Seth Rollins tried to have a match with Anthony Ambrose, because he tried to outperform AJ Styles in the Dan Bryan match, and it failed miserably. But basically AJ Styles, wonder how many times has it been, that Rollins is trying to be like the next AJ Styles and everything. And Styles basically let Rollins know that you can try to be the next AJ Styles all you want, but you'll never be phenomenal. You'll never be the phenomenal one, basically. And Rollins agrees by saying, to no disrespect to AJ Styles, but he never wanted to be the next AJ Styles. He always wanted to be the next Seth freaking Rollins and everything. And it's like reminding Styles that this is a SmackDown no more. You're not a SmackDown anymore. The rope's not blue, it's red. And he says this is Monday Night Rollins. And then Rollins says, he appreciates what Styles did on SmackDown, and he is the phenomenal one. And he says, but Styles will have to be more phenomenal to beat Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship at Money in the Bank. And the fans, basically Styles wanted to cut a promo, and then the fans interrupted Styles by the fans saying burn it down. Styles was like, I have no doubt that we will burn it down, but he will build it right back up. That Styles references that. That's how you reference some what the fans are saying. Unlike what Bayley did back in 2017, that was a disaster. But I like how AJ Styles did it though. We're gonna burn it down at Money in the Bank, but at the Money in the Bank, I'm gonna rebuild it back up. I thought that was nice. So Styles basically said the Shields are no longer here. The hold up Seth Rollins, and says that WrestleMania 35. Styles, basically on saying that Rollins, you did went to hell, and then Styles let him know that he is ready to go now, and Styles is he said he basically goes on by saying at Money in the Bank, he's gonna sink his teeth in, and he's going to basically like a pit bull. He's going to sink his teeth in on Seth Rollins to be Universal Champion, to be the new Universal Champion. So Styles signs the contract. Seth Rollins let Styles know that he don't seem to understand. Then Rollins basically saying that they have a lot in common and everything, but they also have a lot of disagreements, and saying that Styles likes to build things up, but Seth Rollins wants to burn them down, and says that the one thing he's done that Styles didn't is that he beat Brock Lesnar. Damn. Because WWE. Because WWE, I guess they want Styles to be the guy, trustworthy to be the one to beat Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins ends up being, because Seth Rollins is from the Shield, plays with Roman Reigns and everything. But Styles couldn't do it though. I guarantee you, Styles would have done it if WWE would never been behind. If his man wasn't the one making that decision. But Styles grabs, but basically Rollins, Styles no, Money in the Bank. He's gonna beat AJ Styles, and then he signs the contract, and then And then they start looking at each other. Know that Styles grabs the belt. Rollins gets the belt back from him. They start getting each other's face. Rollins to get the belt back, obviously. But then Styles ends up throwing a punch at Rollins, and they start fighting. And Rollins starts fighting back. AJ Styles ends up fighting back on Rollins, and then he does the phenomenal forearm onto Rollins through the table. And Styles poses over the head of Seth Rollins, and basically AJ Styles gets the one up on Seth Rollins, and that's how the show ends. So talking about wrestling for WWE RAW, the show from April 29th, 2019, 7 matches, like with last week. And my overall rating for the show, this show was a dumpster fire. But at the same time, it'll be insulting to all dumpsters if I call Monday Night Raw this show a dumpster fire. This show was putting me to sleep. This show was terrible. This show was not entertaining at all. A few wrestling I didn't enjoy, but there was some shitty bookings that I didn't give a fuck about on this show. Yeah, this show was fucking terrible. So, I'm going 2 out of 10. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. It's Not Your Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets.